Okay, where is he? I hired an extra host to do the entire series of the Spectruminal Trinitea Podcast, and yeah, not not there. Uh, you literally can't find good help nowadays. Well, that's a shame. I guess if he can't show up for work, I'm gonna have to drag him back myself. I'm sorry, little one. Alright. He was hoping. Spectruminal Trinitea. 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 Hello and welcome back to ranking every single episode of the Spectruminal Trinitea Podcast. Now I know what you're thinking. It's been a while. Where were you? And I have answers to some of the questions you may have. Don't mind me, I'm taking a leaf out of my favorite podcast's book, and I brought food to the recording today. For this episode, it's pizza.
Hi, host from the edit here. Just wanted to add in that welcome to Season 2 of ranking every episode of the Spectruminal Trinitea Podcast. This is episode 1 of 3 so far that I have planned. Now, I do have a 4th episode I'm working on, but I will need audience participation for that. So if you could help me out with that, I would greatly appreciate it. Now then, for those of you who don't remember, because this is an entirely new season, I have certain criteria, which I'll be putting on screen now, that I rate each episode by. I rate each episode by their title, the tea of the day, the overall topics, and the 3 hosts, which is Kyan, Gavin, and Haley the Tea Miser. I count how many times I laughed, and I count up how many swear words I hear them say, which, for the most part, is just fuck or shit. And I rank each and every episode on my podcast ranking tier list, which you'll see at the end of the episode when I put these 2 episodes in their proper places. Well, back to me from the past. I'll see you later. Now, today, we are going to be reviewing episodes 11 and 12 of the Spectruminal Trinitea Podcast. Also, I'd like you to take note of my utensil of choice. It's shaped like a fish. That has no bearing on the episode at all. I just wanted to point out what my silverware looked like. Well, without further ado, let's dive in. Alright, so for episode 11, Jelly Side Up, the title was a 6 out of 10. The tea of the day was Passion Fruit Peach Black Tea, the latte version. The overall topics were O.J. Simpson roleplay, mispronouncing Passion Fruit Peach Black Tea, the tea company from Georgia that made the tea. Gavin says that this tea is the mushroom of tea. Also, please excuse the fact that I might sound like I'm eating pizza while I'm recording this, because I am. I apologize for any inconvenience this may cause you, for those of you who are listening instead of just reading what's on screen. I apologize in advance. Black tea facts. Haley made a pizza for the recording, much like I made a pizza for this recording. How to eat pizza. Genetically modifying fruits and vegetables. Drinking piss. Haley's dad grows his own weed. Kyan told his co-workers that they've all eaten grass. The health benefits of drinking black tea. Kyan wonders if the tea can make him less likely to get cancer again. George Washington Carver. Moisturizing your skin. Medical conditions. Blood thinning naturally occurring in the tea. Gavin and Kyan discussing a new show idea. Gavin trying to figure out his shit himself story. Gavin's bomber plane hypothetical. Gavin's new Israel hat. Haley's mom wrote Palestine flags on the to-do list. Not even she knows what that means. Kyan goes from Palestine to Power Rangers in a sick-ass transition. Power Rangers giving up their powers. Gavin's TikTok algorithm. Gavin's favorite TikToker. The Holy War on Judgment Day. Christianity. Kyan's book he's writing. The possible morbid religion said book would contain. The Dead Sea Scrolls may have predicted the morbidness of Christianity. Kyan's resurrection question he asked a coworker. Joe Rogan episode with a guy believing simulation theory. Gavin's idea of simulation economy. Proposing that all evil in the world were played by the same guy simulating evil. John Wayne Gacy. Deja vu being reruns of the simulation. More of the simulation theory. Too much carbon. Kyan's spectruminal viewing. Kyan felt rushed for this viewing. Various nuts. The camera died. Jelly Side Up. The M. Night Shyamalan movie, The Devil. The Mouse in the Vent. Explaining the drugs in The Viewing. Gavin wants to write. Kyan rereads the line where he appears in the mirror. Newman gave Kyan suggestions that he forgot. Alters from Split and also from The Viewing. Kyan's mom watching all the platforms on TV, Haley's missing toothpaste, and Haley and Kyan dissing Crest toothpaste. Kyan was an 8 out of 10. Gavin was a 7 out of 10. Haley the Tea Miser was a 5 out of 10. I laughed 7 times, and I counted 102 swear words. The rank I'll be giving this episode is an A tier. Now on to the funniest part of episode 11. And seeing as this is season 2 of ranking and reviewing every episode of the Spectruminal Trinitea Podcast, I only felt it was my civic duty to play for you in full the O.J. Simpson roleplay they did at the beginning of this episode. Because, oh boy, I feel like that's where most of the laughs in this episode came from. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the Spectruminal Trinity hosts in O.J. at the bus stop.
How many? I didn't see any. I saw one meme post and I was like, he's dead? All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right, okay.
We have to wait for you, Haley.
Wait, so
Why do we have to wait for me?
Because you have to pour the drinks.
Do you have a chance?
We're doing a role play.
You gotta start.
Special 11. I gotta start?
Yeah.
Okay. Haley, whenever, give us the cue.
Oh, 3, 2, 1, pour.
Man. Just like 11 o'clock at night, just waiting for the bus to come. Here, let me pick up my little newspaper. Go on. Go on.
What?
God damn it. God.
Wait there.
Oh my God! Are you Mr. O.J. Simpson, the famous football player O.J. Simpson?
Oh,
Famous
yes I am.
naked gun actor O.J. Simpson?
Yeah.
I love O.J. Simpson. Dude, I gotta commend you for like how good you are at playing football.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
I mean, honestly, I'm kind of in a bad spot here because I don't know that much about you, but I do recognize you as O.J. Simpson because you're a famous person. I felt like I kind of needed to be like, hey, it's cool. It's because when you see someone famous, you kind of want to like interact with them. But I honestly just don't know much about football, so.
I was really good. I was really good.
You're still really good. You're still playing.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
NFL.
yeah.
Like, what would stop you from not playing football anymore?
Well,
One of the greats, dude.
Yeah, I had so happy. Like I twisted my ankle. You know how it goes. I was running down the highway, and it just happened. It happened to twist my ankle. I don't know. Spectruminal Trinity.
All right.
That was terrible.
That was not terrible.
So, one thing that I noticed since the last time I've done anything, because it's been about 9 months since I've filmed anything for this podcast, is that when I go to Gavin's channel, where this podcast was hosted, you are no longer able to see any of his other projects or videos that he posted. In fact, the episodes of the Spectruminal Trinitea Podcast are actually unlisted, and the only way that you can find them now is through Gavin's channel, where the full podcast is available, or through the playlist I made of the podcast probably about a year ago now. Those are the only 2 ways I've seen to access this podcast now since it's unlisted, which was very curious to me when I discovered this. But I thought I'd pass my information on to you, so you all know where we're sitting right now. So before we move on to episode 12, I'm going to actually cover something from episode 12. I know it's weird to cover something from the episode before we actually get into it, but there was a video, there was a clip from episode 12 that I was confused about. Here it is now.
Dude. I don't know how many times I sit up in a show.
I think about it too.
Too many.
It has to be so many times. Dylan, if you're watching this, please DM me and tell me how many times.
Do you?
Now, I was scratching my head wondering what the hell is he on about. So, I reached out to him. And no, I didn't ask for permission to share this screenshot of a private conversation, but I'm going to be asking now, Kyan, is it alright for me to post this? It's a little late for me to, take it down now, but I feel like this exact bit should be fine. But anyways, let me read it. Hey, I know it's been a while since you filmed this, but what the hell did you want me to count for you? Kyan, how many times I sit up in a show, as in I slouch a lot and sit back up straight. Do you want me to go back and count? You have better things to do. Please do not do that. Alright, well, thank you for not making me do that. I can't make you do anything, man. Have a great day. You too, man. So, Kyan, if you're watching right now, I hope you have another great day. Back to your regularly scheduled episode. So, for episode 12, Something's Wrong. The title is a 4 out of 10. Specifically for grammar. That's right, I'm being a stickler for grammar. I apologize in advance. Gavin, Kyan, and Haley. The tea of the day is hibiscus herbal tea. The overall topics were dump truck driver and Buzz Lightyear action figure roleplay. Gavin is wearing the Israel hat. Kyan stirs his tea with his cherry. Haley explains how to make herbal tea. Kyan made cookies wrong. Hand mixing versus mixing by hand. No way in hell am I putting down all the things that were mixed into this tea. There was quite a lot, and I don't know them anymore. I wrote all of this down a few days ago. Actually, a week ago. I watched all these episodes back to back a week ago. I'm filming these now. Herbal tea facts. The health benefits of herbal tea. The skins of fruits. Clarifying that the hosts aren't evil. Why do people come to Ohio? The apocalypse. Hobby horsing. Kyan's coworker used to be a horse girl. Gavin's hypothetical hobby horsing rival, Jessica. A half-hour piss. Kyan's hobby horsing hypothetical. Haley explains the Omegaverse. The term submissive and breedable comes from werewolf fanfics, something I didn't know until watching this episode. Haley is worth more camels than Kyan. Kyan explains the Omegaverse. Human-animal sex hybrids. Gavin wants to buy smut in a bookstore. Kyan is passing on the burden of knowledge of the Omegaverse. He learned about said knowledge from a coworker. Kyan explains the rules of the genre. Nipple piercings. Gavin remembers his shit himself story. Gavin tells his shit himself story. Dylan mention. Finally. It took them 12 episodes to finally mention me, but I gotta mention. Instagram sword-wielding dog. Gavin's zebra hand sanitizer story. What are their fragrances? Mimics. Kyan's fear of mouths where they shouldn't be. The Teen Titans. The versions of Robin. Tremors. Video game design. Boss fights. A mimic colony. Gavin does a spectruminal viewing. Gavin holds a Q&A for the viewing. Gavin talks about some dark medieval story. One Piece. Luffy's mentality. That alien sighting from 2004. Ludacris the Rapper. Pirates. Gavin's ideas for future viewings. Gavin's original plans for this viewing. Kyan's spirals on D&D ideas. Gavin explains how the viewing works in terms of his overarching narrative. Gavin talks about his favorite lines, and Gavin's descriptor of the ship. Kyan was a 5 out of 10. Gavin was a 9 out of 10. Haley the Tea Miser was a 6 out of 10. I laughed twice. I counted 111 swear words, and the rank I'm giving this episode is the horny tier, because the Omegaverse bit went on for far too long and I learned a whole lot about werewolf sex. Didn't know I needed that in my life. Anyways, to save you from the Omegaverse and werewolf sex, I decided to not use that as the funniest moment of this episode. Speaking of which, here's the funniest moment of episode 12.
As the picture's going like, I am jacked! Sorry, go on.
And she finishes up her little practice of her routine, and you decide that you need to go to the bathroom.
Damn it.
So you kick one to the bathroom, and you leave your horse, like any good Samaritan does, outside waiting.
I hitch her up, make sure she doesn't go anywhere.
You take a 30-minute pee.
30 minutes? What was I drinking before? I'm pissing like a fucking racehorse. Jesus Christ. Am I method acting? Did I learn from Darth Maul last time? Holy shit.
So you pee for 30 minutes, and you come back.
What the fuck is happening in there? Is it like a slow drizzle, or is it just like power? It's like a pressure washer.
So you pee for 30 minutes.
Okay. What's it smell like? Do I get to decide that?
And you come out.
Of the closet?
No, of the bathroom after peeing for 30 minutes.
Whoa!
And you see your horse is smashed in two.
Oh my god! What? Jessica is fucking dead!
Now you assume it's Jessica.
Jessica's dead! I'm going to assassinate her father and her mother and make her... I'm gonna go full old boy on this motherfucker.
Okay, this is going to be a bit of a weird angle, but I'm going to try to do two birds with one stone here because I have a new setup. My phone that I'm filming with is on a tripod. I can't do my actual tier list maneuverability while it's sitting on top of my laptop. So, forgive me for the odd angle, but here we go. So for episode 11, a return to form, if you would, I'm going to be placing it in A tier, because it's the first episode I've seen in a while, and quite frankly, it deserves to go near the top. Not an S tier, mind you, but up pretty high as is. And for episode 12, due to the Omegaverse bit, it's going to be a horny tier for me, unfortunately. I can't see myself listening to this episode again, because it's just too darn full of hormones, unfortunately. Well, back to your regularly scheduled camera angle. So, that was episodes 11 and 12 of the Spectruminal Trinitea Podcast. I still have an entire slice of pizza, so we're going to be doing this, and I'm going to be talking until I finish eating my pizza. So, having ranked 11 and 12, that leaves 2 more episodes of this series left to do. And the 4th episode of Season 2, which will be sort of a finale, where I'll do behind-the-scenes stuff. I will do, if you recall from the other series, one of the bonus episodes from the Wait We're Recording sort of content back on TikTok, I went through every single possible facet I was tracking on like a bar graph or some kind of graph so you could see each episode, how everything ranked. So I'll be doing something similar to that again. I don't know what specifically, but I'm going to figure it out. Now, I also need, for episode 4 to be as big as I want it to be of a finality, I need help from viewers like you. I need as many comments and questions as possible about the podcast, about what I do when I review and rank, anything you would want to see behind the scenes, if you want me to try to reach out and get interviews with any of the hosts, just drop your suggestions below for what I should do for the finale, because I want to make sure it's a good one, and that everyone enjoys it. I'll probably just reiterate this point for the next few episodes, just in case someone just jumps to the end of episode 3 or something, and they don't know to just post comments and help me out with making a finale. And again, I will be posting on TikTok to also reach out for help with questions and comments. And it doesn't all have to be just, oh, hey, I have a question about the podcast, or, oh, hey, how'd you do that one effect in your one video? you can just leave words of encouragement like, hey, you're doing great. Just anything really helps. Also, let me know if the microphone quality is better or worse comparatively between seasons, because I'm not going to know the difference until it's too late. So I'm filming all the first 3 episodes of season 2 in the same day, so I won't be able to accept any feedback you may have until it's the finale. So if you have any feedback at all, tell me, and I will work on it for the finale. Well, that's me done. I hope you enjoyed this special episode, the kickoff to Season 2. I may not have introduced it properly, but I figured with being summoned and all, it was a pretty clear distinction that something new was around the corner. Anyways, I hope you had a great day. I hope you had a good time watching this episode, and I will see you when I see you next. Bye-bye.